Hello student, this is a part 5 of K-map series. In this I'm going to discuss the Boolean function, SOP and the POS. But before moving ahead, I want you all to subscribe my channel, press subscribe button and press bell icon also. Now students, a Boolean expression can be used to describe a Boolean function. How a function can be written properly, I'm going to show you here. And here you can see I'm using F to represent the function. A, B, C are the inputs variables, and they will be having the value either 1 or 0 at a time. And here the output will be generated on the basis of this expression A plus B dash dot C. So this is the way you can understand the Boolean function. And students, three things you have noticed here: input, relationship, and the output. In math also, the function is a relationship between a set of inputs and a set of outputs. I hope you have the clear idea about the concept of Boolean function. Now students, I'm going to show you how different outputs can be generated on the basis of the values of A, B and C. Suppose A is 0, B is 0 and C is 0. Alright, and now I have to get the values or put the values in this Boolean expression. So A is 0, B is 0 but its complement is there, dot C is 0. Alright, so 0 plus it's complemented, so we get 1 here, dot 0. So here it is already 0. 1 dot 0 means 1. When it is having 0 on the other side, means the product is there of 1 and 0, it will always produce 0. And when 0 and 0 have been ORed, we get the final output 0. So this is the output on the basis of these three inputs, and that we can put into a truth table. Similarly, we can have in the truth table another set of values. Here A is 1, B is 1 and C is also 1. So here you can see A plus B dash dot C, 1 plus, here it is B dash, so it is 1 complement dot C is already 1, so here it is 1 plus it will be 0 dot 1. This side it will produce what? 0, but this side it is 1. So even if a single 1 is there in the OR operation, it will give us the output 1. So this way we will have different outputs in the truth table. Now you can see here a truth table which is implementing this function, and now here A, B, C are the three columns which are representing the input, and this is the function which is representing A plus B dash dot C. This is producing the output on the basis of this expression. Alright, this is a Boolean expression. You already seen that how the output is generated, and here you can see that where the row number is 0, output is 0, 1 is having the output 1, 2 is having 0, 3 is having 0, 4, 5, 6, 7, all of these are having the output 1, and that has been generated on the basis of this given expression. Alright, now two more columns are here, minterm and the maxterm. What is minterm? Minterm means all the Boolean variables of the given logic system must be present. Second thing, it is a product, right? So it's a product of all the Boolean variables in the given logic system, and we always complement zeros here. Alright, now you can see that I have not written minterm for the row number 0. I have not written for the 2 and 3 where the output is 0, there also no minterm. So let me tell you, minterms are specified in a truth table where the output is 1. And actually there lies the reason why the zeros are complemented in the minterm. That we'll discuss later, but right now we just focus upon the concept of minterm. So minterm is a product of all the Boolean variables in the given logic system, and here we complement zeros. So here you can see combination is 0, 0, 1. So A is having value 0, so it's been complemented. B is having value 0, so this has been complemented, and C is having the value 1, so this has not been touched. Alright, after that you can see the other rows 4, 5, 6, 7. Here it is written A, B dash, C dash. Why? Because the input combination was 1, 0, 0. And then A, B dash, C, because here the B was 0 and A and C were 1. So they have not been complemented. B has been complemented only. Then A, B, C dash. So here A, B both are having 1. So they have not been complemented, but C has been complemented as C contains 0. And here 1, 1, 1. 3 variables with the value 1. So A, B, C, no zeros were there, so nothing has been complemented. Now we come to the max term. Student, max terms, the concept is, it says it's a sum. Second thing, of all the Boolean variables in the given logic system. So A, B, C are there. So all the 3 variables you can see here. And here we complement once. What do we complement? Only once. Why? I will discuss later. So just observe here. First row where the output is 0. It is written A plus B plus C. Because no 1 was there, then A plus B dash plus C. Now here where the row number is 2, so 0, 1, 0. So B has been complemented because it had the value 1. And then A plus B dash plus C dash. So here it was 0, 1, 1. So this has been complemented. What? B and C. Okay, because they were having the value 1. Now here also I want to specify that max terms are always written for those rows where the output is 0. So students, please note it down. Min terms are written in a truth table for rows where the output is 1. This is the reason why zeros are complemented in a min term. Let me show you with an example. Here you can see that 3 variables are there. These are taken from the truth table. A is having value 0, B is having value 0, and C is having the value 1. We write the min term for the above input combination as the output is 1. So if we write just A dot B dot C, so what happens here? A is having 0 and B is having 0 and C is having 1, and it's a product. So it's going to produce what? 0. Because even if a single 0 is there in a product, it will produce output 0. So we complement zeros here. As a result of this 0.0.1 becomes what? 1.1.1. Why? Because A dash dot B dash dot C. Dot is not visible. When the dot is not visible, even then it is also taken as a AND operation or a product. So now we get 1.1.1, and that will produce the output 1, because product produces the output 1 only and only when all the inputs are 1 or true. Alright. After this, we are going to talk about the max term. Max terms are included where the truth value of the output column is 0. Alright, that's very, very important. Or we may say then the truth table max terms are written for those rows where the output is 0 in the truth value column of the output. Alright. Here this is the reason why do we complement once in the max term. So here you can see the example. We have to write the max term for this combination where A is 0, B is 1 and C is 0. Now we write the max term for the above input combination. If we write A plus B plus C, that will be wrong. This is not X, this is wrong. Okay, means 0 plus 1 plus 0. As we have to get 0, because it's an OR operation. Even if a single 1 is there, output will be 1. So the output of the above term will produce 1. Now we write the correct max term, and here we complement B, because B is having the value, you can check the value, B is having the value 1. Now getting back to this, so because of the complementation of B, it produces 0 plus 0 plus 0, and when all the inputs are 0 in the OR operation, the output produced will be 0. Alright. So students, after seeing the truth table and the minterm and maxterm written in different rows, we need to observe here one expression. And what do I have here? That I have written a minterm here, second minterm, third minterm, fourth minterm and 5 minterms. Means all the minterms which I have written in the truth table, they all have been written here and they have been combined with the OR operator. Alright. So you can see this expression has only and only minterms. And this format is called a canonical form. All the minterms can be written here in the form of numbers because every minterm has an associated row number. So here 1 is there. So if you look at this, it is 001. So 001 means that's a binary representation of the decimal number 1. So it's 1 here. Similarly, it's 100, that is 4. So it is 4. In the similar way, we have 5, 6 and 7. And when I write this format, this is called cardinal form. Alright? And when you look at this, it's the collection of all the minterms, means purely consists of minterm, and all these minterms have been ORed. So it is called the sum of products. In fact, it is called standard sum of products. And the symbol for the standard sum of product is sigma, and this is a function f a comma b comma c. So this function has been represented in the cardinal form, and here it is canonical form. Okay. Similarly, we can have only maxterm in an expression. So it is also the canonical form. It's another form, and here all the maxterms product has been taken. First maxterm, second maxterm, third maxterm. So it is for 0, this is for 2, and this is for 3. Since a plus b plus c, and here no 0 is complemented, only ones are complemented, so that simply means it is going to be 0 0 0. So that will produce 0. Okay, and this is the canonical form and this is the cardinal form when we have written the numbers. Alright, now we are going to discuss this in detail. So first we talk about the definition of the canonical expression. A Boolean expression composed entirely either of minterm or only of maxterm is called canonical expression. Always remember this. Okay, the example I have already given. Now after that, students, we have types of canonical expression. Canonical expressions are of two types. First is sum of products, that is in short called S-O-P, and better word or better term if I use that will be standard sum of product, because later it's going to be reduced also. Okay, so it's a standard sum of product expression or form. Now when a Boolean expression is represented purely as the sum of minterms, remember this is a very very important thing, purely sum of minterms, it is said to be in canonical sum of products form or SOP form. Okay, it's a standard sum of products form. Fine. Now second type of the canonical expression, that is product of sum or POS, or better word I always say is standard product of sum. So when a Boolean expression is purely as a product of maxterm, it is said to be canonical product of sum. Alright. Now the symbol for the product of sum is pi. Okay. Similarly, we talk about the symbol of sum of product. So sum of product symbol is sigma. So always remember that. For whenever you see pi, that means I am talking about what? I am talking about POS. And when I am talking about sigma, that means I am talking about SOP. So I hope everybody has the clear idea of the SOP and the POS form. Alright. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe my channel for more videos.